This is SME On Point with me, Diabosito. We are out and about this week in the streets to see what smart innovations entrepreneurs and small businesses are coming up with that can help streamline operations, in this case in the restaurant sector. But first, before we do that, let's take a look at our featured business of the week that comes out from Gqeberha in the Eastern Cape.
Initially, Morgan Vatobor thought he would become a world-renowned chef. But shortly into studying towards culinary studies, he realized it was not something that he would enjoy for a long term. He then changed and studied towards a national diploma in plastic technology, and this led to his big break. After moving to the Eastern Cape in 2002, he worked for almost 17 years in the supply chain department of a known vehicle manufacturing company in Gqeberha. This is where he realized the gap in the market for more local suppliers to supply the original equipment manufacturers. In 2019, he heeded the entrepreneurship call and started his own company, MCR Plastics. His first contract coming from his first employer.
The reason why MCR Plastics was established in 2017 was there was a gap in the market for more local suppliers within South Africa. Because there was a lot of OEMs and they needed to have more local suppliers within South Africa. There's a current drive with the roadshow in the automotive industry. By 2035 we need to be by about 60% localization. That means all the components that is currently imported, the localization program for 2035 needs to be at 60%. Hence, MCR Plastics are now ready to be part of the roadshow for 2035.
Birthing such a vision during a pandemic was not easy, and many contracts that were promised had to be cancelled. But there are many lessons learned.
The global pandemic had a big impact in MCR Plastics because we were in the startup phase. To date, we're also glad that we survived the global pandemic due to a lot of businesses closed around us. We are fortunate today that we are launching our company, and what we're taking out from the global pandemic within South Africa is that we learned a lot through what we can do and to survive when another wave is hitting us.
Besides the excitement of being able to launch MCR Plastics, there is a far bigger dream, one that allows reach beyond the African shores.
Currently, MCR Plastics is a level 2 within the industry. Our plans for the future is to become a level 1 plastic supplier within South Africa. Therefore, our plans is also to make sure that all our employees is upskilled. Some of our employees will also have training with the headquarters in Portugal to get the best European processes and stabilization so that they can also bring it to South Africa.
This industry does not come without challenges, both personal and within the business space. The start-up phase of the company is faced with challenges such as availability of funds, the COVID-19 global pandemic, and trying to remain relevant in an ever-changing market. However, Morgan doesn't let this deter him because he wants to become one of the greatest contributors of job creation, especially for the youth in the Eastern Cape.
Be employment for about 5 people in the first quarter of 2020, and those people needs to get training to be upskilled in the injection molding processes because the process is also very dangerous. They need to understand the process and able to be safe, and also to make sure that we supply to the OEM the best quality as possible.
He also hopes that those who want to venture into entrepreneurship will have a relentless spirit in achieving their goals.
To anybody that needs to do what they really want to do in life is really to set the goal. The goals is very important because if you don't have a goal, you will never reach it. So my opinion to everybody is if you really want to achieve, you have to set the goal, you have to work hard towards your goal.
His future plans include more investments in his company, investing in his employees, and to become a triple BEE Level 1 company. Lerato Fekisi, SABC News, Gqeberha in the Eastern Cape.
Thank you so much to MCR Plastics for sharing the journey with SME On Point. Remember, we are on Instagram as well as Facebook, and our handle is at SME On Point. Please do follow us. COVID-19 has impacted many industries negatively. One of those is the restaurant sector, where as many as 70% of people lost their jobs in the sector. Micros South Africa invited us, SME On Point, to see the smart drive-through technology that they have developed for restaurants. Reginald Sibeko is the Managing Director of Micros South Africa. He joins me to explain how it all works.
MCR South Africa is a technology solutions provider in the hospitality and restaurant space in South Africa. We have been around for more than 27 years, and the solution we've developed for the restaurant industry today is a smart drive-through that allows for a faster, efficient and much more intelligent way of managing the drive-through experience.
Yeah. What is it about COVID-19 and the pandemic that made you think of developing the system? What had you seen as a company?
So as pre-COVID, Liabo, we saw that obviously the consumer behavior was normal. People would go to a restaurant, and with the restrictions of how the restaurant needs to trade and obviously the movement of people, we saw the consumer behavior changing completely. There was an uptake of online ordering, but also a big uptake of drive-through ordering in the restaurant space. So we felt that we needed to provide something that is affordable to our customers, but also something that's efficient, that's also going to give them speed of service and an elevated experience to a customer.
Yeah. Was there something that the restaurant industry owners or the restaurant owners themselves said to you about the efficiency linked to the drive-through that made you think about how do I help these people to make sure that the lines move quicker, because I believe that is what they do?
Yes. So one of the things what we realized was, in one of our customers, we saw a jump from 20% contribution from a drive-through to 40% contribution from a sales perspective. But what the customer then made us aware of is the fact that even though there was this jump in contribution, they felt that they were not able to have the speed of service to service more customers. And we wanted to find something that would resolve the traffic that you find in some of the drive-thrus that you go to, and you see that the service is slow. So that's one of the things that have triggered this particular solution.
Let me ask you to explain it in detail, in granular detail, exactly what you mean about speed of service. What is it that the system detects that makes the operations run smoothly and efficiently?
So our solution comes with 5G wireless headsets, which allows for the operator who's taking the order on the other side of the window to be able to communicate both with the customer but also with the staff in the kitchen at the same time. What this does is it cuts down the amount of time that has to between when the customer changes the order and what the operator is able to do. So it cuts down that time. Secondly, what we've seen is the amount of time it takes for a car to go through the experience. Our artificial intelligence that is embedded in the system is able to give the operators and the managers the insight as to the behaviors of their drive-through so that they can plan better, staff better, and have the necessary food available in time for the drive-through rush.
Yeah, you did mention that in one of your customers you saw a 20% jump in sales. This is of course what any business wants. You want to be able to be selling more in order to stay in business. Tell me about that experience of how this can help sales increase for businesses that are watching us today.
Okay. So the reality today, Liabo, is that when you do not have a drive-through as a fast food restaurant, a consumer who is concerned about having a contactless experience will not come to your store. That's the reality. So in having a drive-through, you are enabling a sales channel that today seems to be a core channel, where previously was an optional channel. Now it's a dominant channel, which has actually gone up in terms of the sales uptake within restaurants. So it is important that any restaurant owner who's watching this program to think about what do they want to achieve with their business. Everybody wants to achieve more sales, and the potential lockdowns that may still follow with the new variants, etc. The reality is, if you go into stricter lockdowns, you want to have a system that's able to handle huge volumes of sales, but also allow for a safe experience for customers so that they can want to come to your shop.
Yeah, we are all concerned about this new variant. as a business yourselves and one that is in IT, how important is it for businesses to migrate, as it were, to artificial intelligence?
It's quite critical, Liabo, and we've seen that with the COVID and the pandemic, it has accelerated the adoption of technology and how technology enables operations. The contactless experience is key today. I'm assuming that even your own consumer behavior has changed. You purchase most of your stuff online, etc., all of those things. So the adoption of this technology and the deployment of this technology is key to actually sustaining businesses now. It's no longer just an optional thing. It's actually mandatory that you should have it if you want to sustain your business.
Reginald, thank you so much for sharing your story with SME On Point. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Leva.
Thank you so much. That is Reginald Sibeko. He's the Managing Director at Micro South Africa, sharing with us the innovation and technology that they are rolling out in the restaurant industry, in all in an effort to help the ailing restaurant sector that has been impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, that is all from us here on SME On Point, but please remember to keep the rands and cents circulating in your communities and keep on supporting those small businesses.